Can you just say your name and title for me again,
Yes,
please?
I'm Marjorie Marks of Caroline's Rainbow Foundation, founder and director.
Okay, perfect. Now, of course, it's kind of one of those times where it's coming up to, nearly 10 years since what happened. I mean, first of all, let's go right back. Refresh us on what actually happened.
Caroline was on her gap year in 2002, and unfortunately there was a drug addict wanting money for his drugs and threw her over the bridge in Bundaberg. So she was murdered in April during her gap year.
Okay, so now since then, something positive has come out of that horrendous incident that happened. I mean, tell me a little bit about what's followed on from there.
Well, we did a lot of fundraising in the early days, and everybody was very, very supportive, all the local people. And we raised funds to do DVDs to go out into schools, so which has followed up with the educational side. And we go into schools and do talks about enjoy your gap year, follow your dreams, but it's important to do your research and travel safety awareness before you go.
And that's what the Caroline's Rainbow Foundation is all about, isn't it?
Yes, it's research before you go, really, because like every teenager, they think they know it all, and it's very important that we don't want to stop people travelling because the world's a smaller place and it's something that they all want to do. But it's very important that you look into the cultures before you go off and do your travels.
Okay, and there's recently been a report regarding a young boy that went away, lived in Tadcaster, unfortunately died while on a gap year over in France. Now, his was kind of misadventure, really. I mean, is that something else that the foundation tries to encourage people to just think about before they do these things on their gap years?
Yes, it's very important. I mean, my heart goes out to the family because losing a child is the worst thing that can happen to you because it's all the things in their future. And so, my condolences to the family. But it's very important to do your research, and my son's done 8-9 seasons now in the mountains, and one of his comments is it turns very cold at night and there's a drop in temperature, and when you're out enjoying yourself you don't realise that suddenly everything's icy, and because during the day you prepare to do your skiing, you prepare to do your snowboarding, but at night when you just relax with your friends, you forget that the times, things are changing. So whichever country you go to, it's important to think of these things and try and stay on your toes. I'm not saying don't enjoy yourself, but it's very saddened when something like this happens, when we really feel it for the family.
I mean, is there any concerns for you that, that the message isn't getting across to youngsters nowadays, that they need to be careful if they go abroad? I mean, that's what the foundation is all about, isn't it?
Yes, I think when we go into schools, we've trained up young people who've done travelling. We've just trained up as somebody else who was actually at college with Caroline, Ben, and he's now in London, but he's also does talks in schools. So we have 3 people locally trained up, and we're spreading the word now. And I think it's just showing what wonderful places to see, and we do photographs, but we say, if you're going to a new country, it's very important to do your research into that country because the cultures are very, very different, and it's listening to your instincts, which is important, to be aware of your surroundings.
And I mean, you never want people, obviously, to forget what happened to Caroline, because it can teach a very worthwhile lesson and perhaps even save somebody else's life.
Well, our mission really since Caroline died, because we couldn't change what happened, and although we have to live with her loss for the rest of our lives, if we can save another life, then that's very important. And we now get travel stories sent to us, which are all on the website, and this year we've concentrated on developing a new website. So on our new website, which is carolinesrainbowfoundation.org, you can look, and there's a lot of research on there. There's a lot of things about different countries, and we're always looking for people who've been to certain countries to advise us on the cultures in that country. So if you just click on each country, you can see a lot of different things that are happening in the countries, and we've got links to the Foreign Office, BBC News, and so it's important that you look at the website, and the DVD that we spent a lot of our money on and sent to all the schools is now online, so you can watch it on the website.
So, I mean, it's things like, as you mentioned there, knowing about the culture. I mean, for example, in Kenya, if you're caught smoking cannabis, you can be put in jail for at least 10 years. You know, is that another thing as well, that you want people to be aware that laws are different elsewhere?
Oh yes, it's very important because it's wonderful to see these places. And I mean, Caroline just loved Australia, and so did Richard. He was there for a long time. But it's very important that you look at a lot of the tips, and there's a lot of good guidebooks out there too, and a lot of good organisations, commercial, because we're a charity. So we're like a bit like an umbrella organisation. So we link all these commercial organisations that have people keeping it updated. So we can bring us all together really, because no matter what we're all trying to do, it's important that we work together.
And just if you had perhaps one message for one person that's looking to go on a gap year, this coming summer, what would it be?
Research before you go to whichever country you're going to.
Okay, you happy with that?
Yes.
Is there anything else you would like to add about your website?
I could just put about next year will be the decade. Next year will be the 10-year anniversary, which is a new decade for people. Don't remember Caroline now after 10 years. So we're going to do an event for young people, which is very important, to bring people together to know about what our charity is about. And we've got a teddy bear about to be launched, who's going around the world with his video camera. If you log on the website, you can see his adventures, and it's on YouTube. And then we're going to take them to different countries, and somebody will take it with worldwide volunteering, and they're going to do each country as we go and tell you about the cultures. So Teddy's going on his travels.
Fantastic. What a great way to kind of, ensure that, I guess, every country is hit as well, most countries, and that you can actually show people where they might be going.
Yes.
Is that kind of the aim of that?
Yes, it is. It's because it's a very small teddy bear that's been donated to us, and he's got his backpack and his map, and we've got a sponsored video camera, so that's actually going with him, and the people who are going out on these travels will take him with us and do about that country, and then the next person will do somewhere else. So you can map him around the world in the next few years. So we're excited about that.
And of course, there is a serious message, obviously, behind that.
Of course. Yes, the important thing is, that they'll show you the city and things, but they'll give you tips of what they've come across and, how to be careful of in the places that they're going to. So it'll add another dimension to the website, which is important.
Perfect. Do you know when that's being launched?
He's going off with somebody in July, so we'll be doing some publicity then about where he's going, and we'll be able to follow him. You can see his preparation on the website already.
Okay, perfect. Okay, you're all
Yes.
happy?